increasingly we can see probably less than 6 months, a time where like you can verbally describe what you want to do and call an LLM through scale stack. And, we're thinking about also like small language models for sales and marketing. So, but that's more like the next 6 months after the first. But like the agents building the workflow themselves. So I need to de-anonymize leads. I have these data sources and like this is my CRM. And like, basically, obviously I'm simplifying, but the agent builds the workflow based on that, tests it out, like connects through the APIs that we have already developed. I mean, the key is that we keep building modules that perform those data sources. And then the agent, which used to be a customer success or customer ops person on our end, like, builds and deploys the workflow and tests it out and like, does the quality data checks that are required, and it's all automated. So that's where like a huge focus for our product team is going to be over the next 6 months.
Like so the next evolution of recipes or templates where you'd say like, here are some common use cases, but you're saying just tell us what you want. We'll build you a place to start. You can always edit that.
Yeah.
That's very
Yeah.
exciting.
That's where we're going to focus a lot of the attention and the hiring and all of that.
There's a lot of companies that are actually trying to solve the blank page problem. And there's this notion of, oh, I'm optimizing my time. But I think they're conflating this with very often with the efficiency that comes from the customization and how much more time you need to put on top of blank page. So question for you I have is that you planning to solve the first one, blank page problem, or are you planning to solve the customization problem with the agents and AI?
No, I think it's the second. I think that customers come with like a very specific set of problems and like hardcore issues that they have and they cannot solve. So it's not that like, I mean, I was faced recently in my personal life with like blank page problem. Like, my building is suing the sponsor of the building. And like, I needed to analyze a lot of documents and we needed to put together like a strategy for like the legal negotiation. Where do I start?
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, and like it digested like a lot of documentation. I started putting like some ideas about like what a potential legal strategy could be. Send it to the lawyers who were impressed. I mean, without this, I could not have done anything. Our customer problems is more like, oh my gosh, I have so much data, so many data sources, and yet like nasty problems that I cannot solve because territory mapping and duplication of accounts and like blank leads that I cannot prioritize. So it's more about like the second area, which is like the customization, which is key because the more mature organization and larger teams, they know their ICP. If you go to a startup and like, what's your ICP? Like, it changes very often and it's not battle tested. But if you are like, 10 years in market and you have a meaningful scale, you know very granularly what is your ICP. And so what are like the customization that you need is what you need to solve for.
Yeah, I think there is something to say about that. On the market, there is a statistic that says that around 80% of buyers are expecting the sellers that approach them to have some form of personalized approach.
Yeah.
Right. So that notion of customized approach in almost everything is going to prevail. I don't think the AI is there yet. And I'll be frank with all of you here. When I test some of these AI-like solutions, I know this is a hacky way of doing stuff, but I didn't know how bad the result is. There's a little bit of fallacy behind this. Like, this is optimizing my time. It doesn't optimize my time. It's actually making this worse because I have to crawl back from this and create something that is really customized. So to your point, you don't go for a blank page. You're actually going for something that is personalized. And it's an only question how long it's going to take you to massage this in this tool to get something that really is rewarding with a personalized and custom like version of the document they're trying to send or write, right? And I don't think a lot of these tools really are prepared for that. They just try to have a one button that solves the problem, but that's not how it works. It's a multi-iteration process.
Yeah, and different use cases for different things, right? Like your legal documentation, like, yeah, that was nice to fill out the page because you're going to hand it to experts to do the customization versus, oh, we need to build a model that works to help assign accounts and help marketing understand what's happening.